Give an update on the number of calls to 211. We had, for this event, over 2,000 calls were received. 500 people called volunteering to help, which is awesome. That's what we're looking for. We still need more people to help. We've got 577 people have called 211 looking for some type of assistance or needing some aid. There's been 708 volunteers that have come through the Volunteer Reception Center. Like I said, we still have more people that need requests fulfilled. 374 requests have been completed. We still have 174 people that need help. Primarily, we're talking about hauling trees, and so people with trucks or trailers are what we're really looking for. If you want to volunteer, if you have a truck, have a trailer, want to help out, you can just show up at the reception center. Don't have to call for that one. They're open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. today, and then Tuesday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So the big thing, like I said, is trucks and trailers. If you have that and you're willing to help out, there's people that could really use that assistance. Red Cross has now closed their shelter, but they had a total of 15 guests that had been staying there. Everybody has now moved on, and the Red Cross also passed out over 4,000 bottles of water and snacks at the tree drop-off site. So people that were dropping it off, they were giving them some refreshments. That's all I have for now. I'll turn it over to Director Cotter. Oh, sorry. Which one? Which number?
The Red Cross people staying there.
15.
Good morning, I'm Mark Cotter with the Office of Public Works. I'll give you an update on a number of items related to the recovery efforts. First of all, progress on the debris pickup. We're tracking that we're about 92 to 95% that we've been down every right-of-way in the city. We remain to have 2 debris contractors that are out actively picking up, and we're tracking them closely. The look forward, if you drive throughout the city, you'll see a number of stumps and root balls and curb and gutter and sidewalk that's been upset with these right-of-way trees that blew over, and so we'll have another team going out with iPads that have GPS tracking materials, and they'll take a picture of that. They'll also measure the sidewalk, the curb and gutter, and in about a week our goal is to actually release a contract or multiple contracts so we can begin to address that type of work. Priority again that you've heard the mayor say and that I've reiterated is that option 1, clear your property if possible. It's a lot faster to mobilize an entire community and get that material to the free drop-off site so you can begin to restore your property. Option 2, as Sam mentioned, there's been a high volume of calls that have come into 211 and a number of them have been cleared, but if assistance is needed, call 211 and volunteers will be connected to you. Option 3, if the work is too large for volunteers, the city will come out and assess and see what the best approach is. And so, but really want people to take option 1 and 2 into effect so we can quickly get this city restored. Tree debris drop-off locations, we just want to highlight them again. Through yesterday, we had about 8,500 private loads come through those debris drop-offs. They're working great. Can't say enough about the teams that are running them, and along with the Department of Corrections inmates. Just an amazing amount of work, and it's really a fast turnaround that when you pull in there with branches, they get quickly unloaded. And as Sam mentioned, first Red Cross is there to give you a water and a bar as you leave, so they've worked out great. We continue to operate them from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. We're closely tracking what the volume of traffic is. We had a high volume of traffic through Saturday, and then we've started to see it curl off, but we'll continue to track that and remain open 7 to 8 p.m. unless that needs to change. 2 sites are at Street Division campus at Chambers Street and Cliff Avenue, and then also at North 12th Street and Lyons Boulevard. Also want to remind people that there's a lot of mixed debris out there on private properties. We want that mixed debris that's got wood, paper, shingles, and branches. If that's mixed debris, we want that to go directly to the city landfill. That's also free to drop off if it is storm related. Remain to have 2 roadways closed with the high flood waters that are working their way from north of Brookings through our rivers and streams that come through Sioux Falls, 60th Street North between Minnesota Avenue and Westport, and Rice Street between Cleveland Avenue and Veterans Parkway. We'll continue to update those. We are seeing the river flows all trend in the right direction, and so we're anticipating this week to be able to open both those locations. Don't have a time for you yet. And last thing I have to say is just there's been a number of partners that have all come together to really expedite this recovery effort. A lot of private people that have reached out to 211, a lot of church groups, and you'll soon hear from Team Rubicon. They're an international disaster relief operation that is free to the city of Sioux Falls. They've done an amazing amount of work, and as Corey said this morning, chainsaw work is kind of their bread and butter, and they've got a lot of people that are trained in it. They've done an amazing amount of work, and so just wanted to truly highlight them before they start to demobilize. So next that you'll hear is Andy Berg, Stormwater Manager. Thank you.
Andy Berg, Stormwater Manager, Public Works. As Mark mentioned, the river flows are trending down at all of our gauges, upstream and in town. The flows look to be continuing that direction. We do have some precip in the forecast, but it looks to be a small amount, so we're watching that. We'll adjust any operations as necessary should we need to do any additional pumping. At this time, as Mark said, 60th Street North and Rice Street are closed. Those we expect to open hopefully fairly soon, with the trends showing those flows coming down. However, there is a process. Once the water is off of those streets, we have to get out, clear that debris off of there, make sure that the bridges on 60th Street are safe before folks go on those. So please be patient as we get, just because the water's not on them does not mean that you can go around barricades. So watch for those barricades to come down and have a safe passage through those areas. We're continuing to monitor our levee system. A lot of flow going through that right now. It's still very high. We'll continue to watch it, make sure that it is functioning as designed, and we aren't having any issues. Everything has been going well so far, and we expect that to continue. So, up next is Kelby Maris with Parks.
Good morning, Kelby Maris with Parks and Recreation. There continues to be multiple parks along Skunk Creek in the Big Sioux River and segments of the bike trail that remain closed. The closed parks include Legacy, Yankton Trail, Tomar, Spencer, Tut Hill, Pasley, Rotary, and Cherry Rock. Bike trail system remains barricaded as well from Legacy Park through the downtown Greenway and into Falls Park. Park crews continue to support the tornado cleanup efforts, especially through the park system, and forestry crews are addressing hangers and hazardous trees in the public right-of-way or on street trees. Park crews will address flood cleanup once the floodwaters recede. Please respect the barricades and stay out of flooded areas until we can get those areas cleaned up and ready for public use. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Corey Schroeder with Team Rubicon.
Good morning, Corey Schroeder with Team Rubicon. So today we've got 9 volunteers on site working in 2 chainsaw strike teams in support of the tree debris management. So we've been getting those requests from those homeowners through the 211 Helpline Center. We're finalizing up the rest of those calls that are as needed today, and we anticipate working through today based on the assessment and need for additional support in the community. We'll reevaluate this afternoon, but right now our plan is to go ahead and demob and get out of here tomorrow. And I'll be around to finalize any paperwork and answer any questions as well and work along with the city. In the past 48 hours, we completed 23 work orders from individual assistant requests, which was 15 volunteers that we had on site from Friday afternoon when they arrived, Saturday, yesterday, and then today. And we provided 265 volunteer work hours as well from the course of the past 2 days. And it's been a pleasure for us to be here. We're very happy. The hospitality has been great from the community as well as the city of Sioux Falls and all of the homeowners. And it's been very refreshing. It's been a rewarding experience for all of our volunteers, including myself. And it's pretty amazing to see how quickly the community of Sioux Falls has come together, collaborated, and responded in this recovery effort. So thank you very much.
Jason Gierman, Minnehaha County Emergency Management. Not much has changed in the county. We had some more water rescues on Saturday. It was all quiet on Sunday. And we had a couple on Friday. I just want to reiterate that once the water starts to recede, if it's still, you're going to be tempted to go back to your house. You got to remember that if water's still going over the road, you can't see what's underneath the road. And we're going to have a lot of washouts, especially in the gravel roads in Minnehaha County. So please use caution and wait till that road is clear of water before you go try and get back into your house. And I don't know what the levels are going to be in the next couple days, but it's going to continue to decrease unless we get a lot of rain. And according to the Weather Service, we're not expecting that. If there's any questions specific to Minnehaha County, I can answer them now. Otherwise, I'll turn it back over for questions or the regular press briefing.
Have parts of Renner been evacuated?
Renner Fire basically got most of the people out. There's some people that decided to stay, but you know, they deal with this quite often. So the Renner Fire Department's pretty good at taking care of that town.
Do you know when you're expecting Renner to be able to have those people move back in yet?
I don't know that. Once the water recedes and they think it's safe to go in and structurally safe in the houses. So Renner hadn't seen this type of water ever. So there was most of the town was underwater. All right.
Any other questions?
Corey Spelling from Team Rubicon, to the first name.
Corey is K-O-R-Y.
EY.
Dang it. K-O-R-E-Y.
Just gonna ask, for Kelby, do you have any idea of when the park system and bike trail system are expected to reopen, or what people can expect for that?
I can expect that it'll be a while. Once the floodwaters recede, a lot of the parks, Yankton Trail through Tut Hill especially, saw a lot of tree debris, tree damage due to the storms from Tuesday night. So a lot of that debris is extremely large. And so by the time the water goes down and things dry out enough for us to get equipment in, I mean, it could be, will be several days before we can get in and get those areas cleaned up.
So days to weeks, possibly?
Hope it doesn't stretch into weeks, but really it'll all depend on how fast the floodwaters recede, and then allow us an opportunity to get in and clean up the storm damage after that.
What about the park structures, bathrooms, buildings, fencing? What kind of damage have you found there?
We found some minor fence damage. All the restroom facilities throughout the park system did not receive any damage. We did receive some storm-related damage to the Tut Hill House and to the clubhouse at Prairie Green Golf Course, but outside of that, the structures through the park system seem to stand up pretty well.
I just had a question for just generally the city. Was there anything that you've learned from this tornado experience? Is there anything that maybe you guys would do differently next time, or how do you feel the city's prepared for in the case of another tornado?
Well, I think with every event, there's lessons to be learned, and we'll be doing a recap probably in about a week to do a look back on all the activities that have taken place. But I can't stress enough, you know, just mobilizing the community and really engaging neighbors, businesses, churches, Team Rubicon. You know, it it becomes a significant effort, but when it was less than a week ago that 3 tornadoes hit Sioux Falls, and when you drive substantially through the city, the debris has been picked up, the houses are organizing contractors to, restore them. It's been an amazing effort. There'll always be small adjustments, but can't say enough for the emergency management team that's in that room next door, that when we all get in one room and you see a planning and a logistics and an operations and a public information team and police and fire, as things pop up, because every event is different, that issue gets worked till it gets solved, and then we move to the next one. And so it's a process that is employed across the country and really does work well. So probably more to come on the lessons learned in the weeks to come.
Were any of the floodgates used, like up on 60th Street North or along the Riverway?
They were, and so we deployed the closure structure on 60th Street North. Any others?
Just the west one on 60th Street, that's all.
Just the west one on 60th Street North, and that one remains in place. And but luckily we didn't see, it didn't get up to that high, but there's operational procedures that Andy and the Corps of Engineers use before those get deployed, and in a very short time when that order gets issued, teams get out there and set that up. It's essentially kind of closing the levee across the road, and it worked. So, yeah. Any other questions?
Do you expect the levee to hold pretty well, or is it expected to be topped?
No, we do not expect it to be topped. We had, Andy was watching those levels very closely. We also had a team that worked around the clock that we call levee patrols, that were driving the top of the levees, looking for any seepage, boils, any integrity issues to the levees, and we can say with confidence they worked very well. I'm not sure they've ever been tested to this extent.
1969.
Right, so that was an investment that this community made along with the state of South Dakota and the Corps of Engineers, about $65 million worth of resources that happened over about a decade period of time, and it positions us for these really high flow events. So very fortunate to have those pieces in place to protect the city. Any other thoughts, questions? Thank you so much for having us today. Here, Sam.